Hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm. My name is Jenny and today I'm going to talk about my favourite channels, my YouTube channels. Because as I've mentioned before on this channel, I'm getting incredibly frustrated because I can't find any of the small, interesting creator channels that I want to watch. And every time I search for anything, I just get delivered all this, pretty dreadful AI content, to be honest. And I don't know if you're finding a similar thing, but certainly from what I've heard from other creators and some other videos that I've watched, that I'm not alone in my frustration at the moment. So I thought what I would do is share the channels that I really enjoy watching. Some of them, of course, are very large channels and have really useful and interesting content that I really enjoy watching. But quite a number of them are small channels that are not likely to be offered up in the YouTube searches or just miraculously appear. So from what I can see, the ones that seem to be suggested as options to watch are either ones you've already watched, which don't make any sense to me at all, or they are videos that have got thousands and thousands of views and they're sort of like top of mind presumably for the algorithm, so they offer them to you. It's very, very difficult to find a small channel that you're really interested in. It doesn't tend to get offered up as a suggestion, and as I say, when I've tried searching these channels, it is really doing my head in because I can't find the things that I'm interested in watching. And in the end, I just get frustrated and click away from YouTube altogether, which surely is shooting themselves in the foot, unless I'm the only person that does that. The other thing that I tend to do is when I open YouTube in an evening when I'm knitting, I just click straight through to some of my subscriptions. And then, of course, I can watch the new videos that have been posted by the content creators that I enjoy watching. But I'm always interested in finding new channels for my stable of subscriptions. So if you have channels that you watch that you find really interesting, please put them in the comments, because this video really is all about us sharing the channels that we enjoy. It'll be a win-win for the content creators who are, like me, are struggling to be found and watched. And it will also mean that if you're trying to find videos and channels of content that you want to watch, it'll be a really easy resource. So hopefully everybody will be able to search out the channels that I enjoy and I'm suggesting, and also look in the comments below and check out all those channels, and that way we can all share our favourite channels and I think everybody wins. And of course, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps. The algorithm does love that. And like this video if you enjoy the content. And just before we get on with this video, I just wanted to show you something that I found this week and I thought was amazing. Look at this fabric. Isn't that glorious? Now, I'll tell you why it's even more glorious than it seems. I was looking through some old boxes. I was looking at some old photographs and I found this. This is a remnant of the fabric that I used to make my wedding dress. That's 35 years ago. And I didn't realise that I'd kept a bit. Well, there is, I think, maybe half a metre of what obviously now is vintage fabric. And one of the things you can clearly see is that my colours have not changed in all that time. This fabric is red, green and blue, navy. Gorgeous colours. Love this fabric. And when I made my wedding dress, it was actually a bit risque, because 35 years ago, I don't know if it was the same for any of you out there, but 35 years ago, it was not normal or even really acceptable to wear a dress to a wedding. It was a church wedding that wasn't white or off-white. And I decided that I was going to go in essentially what was a white dress, but it had a sort of an over corset that was laced up, which I made out of this fabric. I saw the design on the cover of a Vogue magazine, and it was sort of obviously haute couture and Paris and all the rest of it, and I just loved it. Well, you couldn't get anything like that in my hometown, so I made it. So pleased to have found this fabric, and of course I have plans now to make a top out of it. Will I be able to cut into it? I've only got half a metre, but it is glorious. I love the fabric and I'm looking forward to that. So I just thought I'd share it with you because it was such a fun time. I've actually been doing a bit of Swedish death cleaning. If you don't know what that is, just do a bit of Google searching. But I decided there were just a few boxes and random things sort of up on a shelf up high, and I vaguely knew what was in there, but not really. That's Maggie barking at the gate, please ignore her. I vaguely knew what was in these boxes, but not totally, and obviously I didn't, because I found this fabric, so that was amazing. The other thing I did was I found lots and lots of amazing photographs, and I went through all these photographs and I realised that I have had slight variations on a short haircut since we moved to New Zealand, which would be 32 years ago, I would say. When I was before that I was living in France, and then when we first moved to New Zealand, I had longer hair. I had hair down to here, and then I had it cut short. I was a dive instructor, so it was really so much more practical to have short hair, and I got it cut and have never had long hair since. Well, having a look at these photographs, I'm going to grow my hair out. I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Why would you do that? But yeah, I just feel like it. Now, I'm saying that now. Of course, we haven't yet started the horrible grow out phase, and it might be a short-lived excitement, a short-lived mental blip, but anyway, at the moment I think I might grow my hair out. What do you think? It's pretty extreme to go from this, which is essentially a really short man's haircut, which I do like. I mean, I like my hair like this. It's not in great shape today, but I do like my hair like this. But life's too short not to try things that are interesting and different and just, yeah, have a change. So I thought I'd grow it out. So this channel, coming to you soon, there will be all sorts of random hair monstrosities, hats maybe, scarves, just really bad hair for a while. But anyway, hopefully you'll bear with me, because I would like to try and grow it out. Obviously last time I had long hair down to here. It was brown, and now I've got grey hair. What I've discovered is that my hair is a lot thicker. It's sort of coarser and a lot thicker than it was when it was brown. So I really have no idea what it's going to be like. It was a bit wavy and a little bit curly years ago as well. I don't know if that's still the case. Do you know? I mean, if your hair goes grey, does it change in the way it behaves? But anyway, exciting times, and if you follow along with my channel, subscribe, you will be able to see. So let's get on with the video. I have 12 channels. I might have to read from my book for this actually. So new glasses on. These are my new glasses. Oh, I can see you. These are my new glasses. I tried on lots of sort of like face furniture and all sorts, and in the end I just sort of thought, I don't know, these sort of blended with my hair and they just felt right and they felt comfortable, so I went with these ones. So onwards, I'm going to read this book. The first channel, and I will put it on the screen because obviously it would be easier for you to read it, pause and read the name of it, and then you'll be able to go and find them. I think on YouTube, if you just put @ and then the name of the channel, it should come up. So the first one is Samantha Loves to Sew. She's a lady that lives in England, and she's into sort of vintage sewing, vintage materials, vintage trimmings and buttons and lace and all those sorts of things. I think her mother works at a charity shop and seems to find the most amazing things for her. But I do enjoy her channel, and what I love about these small channels is that we're all quite unprofessional. And I like that. I like the sort of the homegrown, real people doing real things sort of approach. So I often find that if I start watching a small channel and then in time they get a lot more professional, and then there tends to be sponsorship and all that sort of stuff, I don't know, it makes me go off it a bit. So anyway, Samantha Loves to Sew. I really enjoy her channel. She used to post really quite frequently. She's slowed down a little bit now, but she does do sort of vintage but also historical costuming as well. I think she's got more into the historical costuming of late, but she likes 1940s style, I think some 1930s. She has done some 1920s as well. So yes, I enjoy her channel. Okay, who else do I have? Well, of course, this list would not be complete without the Closet Historian. I'm sure you've heard of the Closet Historian. Her channel is quite a big channel, and it is very professional after what I've just said. It's beautifully created, it's beautifully filmed and edited, it's very complete, it's very educational. I mean, I love it because she does some beautiful makes, 50s makes, she does 40s, she does 20s again. She has some lovely things. It's all in woven fabric. She has some amazing sort of collections videos where she shows you all her brooches and all her shoes and all her hats. She also does sort of pattern book look throughs as well. I really enjoy that when I'm trying to sort of figure out outfits and what I'm going to make. Those are really useful. She's got hundreds and hundreds of videos on her channel. Really worth a look. So if you haven't checked out The Closet Historian, go over and have a look at that. She also does drafting. So her whole ethos is about the idea that you create your own block. I mean, like I have my blocks. You create your own block and then you sort of draft and make changes to those and draft your own patterns from there. And she shows you how to do it. So yeah, really worth going to check that out. She's American. I'm not quite sure where she is now. She's recently moved. She's also doing a bunch of stuff on renovating her house. And oh, wow. She is doing the most amazing renovation. I mean, maybe not renovation, more decoration. She's hand painting so much of it. It's beautiful. So the next one is Tara Dayton. She is an English lady. She lives at the seaside somewhere. There are definitely seagulls in in the soundtrack. I'm not really sure where she's from, but it's certainly the south coast, I would say, of the UK. She is used to be a wedding... Don't quote me on this. I think she used to make wedding dresses for other people. She certainly makes all her own beautiful clothes. Her tagline is a vintage and sustainable lifestyle. So those are both things, of course, that really resonate with me. Lovely lady. She's got a beautiful white cat, and yeah, she's a bit goth actually. She likes dark colours, and she's sort of really into Halloween and spiders and things. Not that there are spiders on the channel for anybody that's a bit sensitive in that area. She just sort of likes that slight gothiness. So, but yeah, really worth a look. She makes her own beautiful clothes. She has she curates her wardrobe and her closet and all that sort of stuff. So Tara Dayton, that's worth a look in my book. Another channel that I really enjoy, or have enjoyed in the past, is called Emmy's Vintage. She doesn't post very regularly now, but she has a backlog of really interesting videos. Beautiful style. It's mainly sort of 40s and 50s style, I think. But yeah, she does a lot of sort of vintage and thrifting type stuff. So yeah, very interesting. Go and have a little look at that channel. Now, Lisa is another lady that I watch. Lisa, what does she call it? Bobo Bun as well. And she does Instagram quite a bit as well. Lisa is a seamstress. She's a sewing teacher. She's into vintage fashion, 1940s, 1950s, 1930s, a little bit maybe, I think, but mainly 1940s and 50s, I think. She makes beautiful clothes. She's always finding amazing vintage fabric and vintage buttons and then making things up with them. She's made some coats in the past. Really, really interesting, and I love her style. It's so bold, and it's so the videos are quite joyous and again very real. Now, of course, I do also like knitting channels. So the next one on my list is Engineering Knits, and I'm sure you must have heard of her. It's quite a large channel. She has so many videos and really informative, and what she does is she's really into machinery. So she does quite a bit on knitting machines, but she also does quite a lot of hand sewing. She does a lot of vintage knitting, if you know what I mean. She's updated some of those patterns as well, which I think you can purchase on an Etsy shop. I should have researched this better, shouldn't I? But I always think, well, you can just go and check out her channel and find out all the information there. So Engineering Knits, she's a lovely lady, and she yeah, really entertaining videos, so she's worth a look as well. What else have I got? This is another big channel, Justine Leconte. Now, Justine is a French lady, and she's actually a modern fashion designer, so she has her own brand that you can check out online. But why I like Justine is she really knows her stuff, and if you look back at her video sort of backlog, she's got a whole load of videos that are fascinating about colour, designing a wardrobe, working out your style, different sort of shapes and the way you put things together. She looks at different trend boards for sort of the things that are going on now. She takes apart sort of what's going on with different fashion designers. So she's a lot more modern. She's not into the vintage type stuff, but she's very knowledgeable on the way you can sort of curate a closet and put colors together and find out your colors and all of that sort of stuff. She's also, there's a little bit of life stuff in there about moving to France. Well, she is French, but she was living in Berlin, I think, and she's moved back to France. There's a little bit on her house renovations as well. So she's a really interesting channel, and again, she has loads of videos. They come out reasonably regularly, so again, worth subscribing to, but do check out her backlog as well. As I say, very interesting and informative. Next, who do we have? The next channel on my list is Miranda Milner, and she's a young American lady, I think, and really fascinating. She seems to sort of take on a challenge. She likes vintage styles, so again, it's sort of 40s and 50s, I would say, but she just sort of gives everything a go. You know, she sort of drapes her own stuff, she works out her own patterns, she sort of makes things out of secondhand stuff. She's quite creative with the way she puts outfits together, and I've really enjoyed her content. Again, she doesn't post very regularly, but she does have quite a few videos in the backlog that you can have a look at, but she does, every now and again there'll be a new video pop out, so I do like her content as well. But as I say, she's got wonderful style, and she's quite sort of bold and creative and tries things a little bit like I do, I think. The next lady is Lately Fashionable. I really enjoy her content. She's probably my favourite channel at the moment, to be perfectly honest. She's posting regularly, so it's about once a week, I would say. And she's currently in a process of wearing vintage for a complete year. Last year was making vintage in preparation for wearing vintage. And she's sort of recording her outfits that she's wearing every month. So yeah, lots of really interesting videos on the backlog of her channel, but also frequent videos that are coming out now. I really enjoy her making videos and her sort of can-do attitude and figuring stuff out, and yeah, I really enjoy her content. Another channel which I like is called A Twirl in Time. These videos are beautifully produced. The clothes are gorgeous. She makes them all herself. She's a very attractive woman herself, and the outfits are just to die for. Absolutely lovely. Not that many videos on her channel, and she's quite infrequent on the posting, but certainly if you do love a really nice vintage 50s look, go and check out her channel because it is worth a watch. Okay, so we have the next two actually are knitting channels. So the first one is Nadia Makes. So she has quite long videos. They're about an hour, over an hour, so long videos, but she's a very prolific knitter. The amount of jumpers she's made, unbelievable. I mean, nothing like me. I'm a very slow knitter, but she just seems to sort of knock them out. Beautiful jumpers. And she talks a lot about all the knitting that she's doing. She's actually getting married at the moment, or a wedding upcoming, so I think she's deep into preparing all her wedding dress and all of that sort of stuff. But if you're into knitting, go and check out her channel. She lives in Ireland, and there's lots of beautiful knits, and she sort of talks about all her different knits, and she's very much into this, holding a strand of this together with this and trying this out and trying new patterns and styles, and she's into more designer knits and all of that sort of stuff. So fascinating, really nice, I find, to listen to that sort of content and watch a little bit while knitting yourself in the evening. Very relaxing, very calming, so I enjoy her content. And of course, this list would not be complete if I didn't include Black Cat Knitting Company, which of course is the lovely Alana. It is the knitting shop that I go to in Parnell, where I go to my Thursday knitting group. And yes, really, really interesting. She puts out a podcast reasonably frequently. There's quite a number on her channel now as well. So definitely worth a watch. She is an amazing knitter and very quick knitter, does a lot of knitting, and obviously owns a yarn shop as well. So really knows her stuff, and it's very, very entertaining. Again, something that you would really like to listen to when you're knitting yourself in the evening. So I really enjoy her channel as well. Anyway, I hope that is of some use, and I do hope there's going to be a huge amount of wonderful other channels in the comments below so that I can sort of go through it all and find all these other channels and watch that, because I am up to here with AI content at the moment. So this is my bid to basically help myself and help other people as well, to find some actual real people making real content that is interesting. So hopefully we can all share our favourite channels, and then we'll all be able to discover all these amazing content creators around the world. Because I think I'm pretty sure I've done the UK, Ireland, America, Germany, France, New Zealand. Haven't got any Australia in there, have I? Oh, there is somebody that I used to watch in Australia. What were they called? Yesterday Today. She was really into hand sewing. She used to or does a lot of hand sewing on the train. So if you're looking for somebody in Australia, maybe check her out as well. Right. I think that's it for now, and hopefully you'll all leave your favourite channels in the comments below. I really look forward to finding out all about that and extending my list of subscriptions that I can watch in the evening. So as I say, the way I watch YouTube is I just go straight to my subscriptions and then just look at the latest content from the channels that I'm subscribed to. But of course, what happens is that over time, people drop off and stop making content. They do YouTube for a little while and then they stop. So the channels that you're subscribed to actually get fewer and fewer over time. So basically every now and again, I have to go on sort of the YouTube search, engage with the algorithm, and try and search out for some other things that would interest me. That's the problem that I'm having at the moment. So if you could leave your favourite channels in the comments below, then I can check those out and sort of bolster my subscription feed, if you like. Is that the technical term? Probably not, but hey, I'm calling it my subscription feed. The channels that I am subscribed to, that I watch every evening. So it would be great to have some new channels in there. Anyway, I will stop rabbiting on about this. I have no idea how long this video is. It was supposed to be a really quick video just to share some of my favourite channels. I have a feeling I've gone on a bit longer than that, as is normal. But anyway, I'll say goodbye for now. Bye.